Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied.
So do you think you'll get up on stage and play together?
We have actually rehearsed She's Not There, but it was 30 years ago.
Some of the guys haven't played literally since 1967, and so it's going to be a bit challenging for them.
I'm up for it, you know, it's up to the others, and so we'll see what happens. It'll be a lot of fun.
For the first time together in the same room for 28 years, they haven't even rehearsed. The Zombies, the original lineup of the Zombies, ladies and gentlemen. Well, no one told me about her.
The reason the Zombies got together was because we had a huge enthusiasm. We all liked the same music that was around at the same time. That was why we did it, and it's that comes over.
These guys have been sort of, left behind, and really they deserve to be up there with, like, the best of them, the Kinks and the Yardbirds and Small Faces and the Hollies, all the really great, strong British pop acts.
We only ever had one hit record in this country, and even that didn't make the top 10. She's Not There it peaked actually at number 9 in a midweek chart, but on the proper charts, number 11 was the highest it ever got. I think Tell Her No made 30 or something, and apart from that, that was it in this country, which is to me why it's so nice that after all this time, in this country there's so much interest.
When the band finished, I felt that there was a total disinterest in the band, and that's one of the reasons that we finished. So if at this late date we can put a different perspective on what we did, I'd be very pleased.
What do you think of this box set being put together? Were you happy to hear it was happening?
It's great to see it in this final finished state as well, I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to opening it and reading it and finding out about myself.
There really wasn't another band that sounded like us at that time. And it's all about timing. I mean, I've learned that in the music business since then. It's about the right sound and the right song and the right time. And I think She's Not There at that time with that sound was, perfectly timed, because it was unlike any other of the English British invasion bands that were coming to America. And in fact, I think we were one of the earliest bands to actually achieve #1 record in America.
People forget that we were the second English group to get a #1 in America after the Beatles, and that seems to have been forgotten. And we did ride on that English wave in America, and they took us to their hearts, where over here we were just working the circuit.
Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the colour of her hair.
But even then in the States it started to go downhill. I mean, we had sort of tickles and we had top 40 hits, but we didn't have another top 5 hit until Time of the Season, which was our last record, which was #1.
It's the time of the season.
Could you perhaps summarise what you think made the Zombies so special?
The core of the Zombies was the songwriting. We had 2 very strong writers in the band, and I think that's what made them special. I think Rod always had more of a vision of what he wanted and what he wanted from us. And I think he was always in a slightly different league as a musician to us. That's my honest opinion. And so sometimes he would tell us how he felt things should go. The annoying thing was he was always right.
Tell it to me slowly, tell you what I really want to know.
I really had to persuade him to sing Time of the Season. I mean, there was one, funny session at the end there. So the last thing we recorded on Odyssey and Oracle, and he was singing it, and I must have been pretty tiresome actually at the time, because I always used to say to Colin, "No, can you sing? No, the melody, it's got that note. It's just, a bit earlier than that. It's just a bit before the beat." And he'd had enough, and he said to me, "Look, if you're so bloody good, you sing it." I said, "No, come on, Colin. No, I want you to sing it. You sing it." And in the end, he did, and I think he's very pleased that he did. I think in the end, if you do something that does stand up, sometimes it does come through eventually.